I just want to say I miss you, Gabrielle. I miss you, Bijou. I miss you, Mom, Dad, Grandmother, Grandma. And I hope you're proud of me.
We can let everybody off the hook. We can agree that we're all guilty and we're all innocent. And it's just time to move on. It's time to build a life. It's time to get right. And then I promise, and I hope you promise, that as you're getting right, that you help as many people as you can.
That is absolutely my goal.
This is my friend Rafaella, and we're here to talk about recovery, and you have about 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And so currently, what would you say is the most challenging thing that you're dealing with as far as recovery goes?
Right now, I would say the most challenging thing I'm dealing with.
And maybe there isn't anything challenging.
There is, for sure, though.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
How are your mornings for you when you wake up? Are you a morning person?
No, not particularly. Like when I wake up, I kind of just like try to get going. I need to pray more. I don't pray as much as I should.
Do you meditate at all?
I don't. Yeah, I think honestly, like the hardest thing for me right now is just lifing. I'm not really like working my program as much as I should, and I'm aware of that. I think with therapy and EMDR, a lot of stuff is coming up for me. Like my sister, like I was telling you, like turning 29, she passed away when she was 29. I think everything is like processing for me, and for a couple weeks I was really having a hard time, and I was having some like relapse, some like euphoric recall. And the thing for me is like I know that I'm not going to relapse. I think I just was seeking comfort. And I was in a relationship and I wasn't getting comfort in that. You know, I don't think I know. It's like I can't put my finger on it, and that's hard for me. And it's like when you're seeking out your higher power and you can't get in touch with it, you're going to therapy, you're doing all the things. You know, and I'm sure when I reach out to people, you know, other people go through this in recovery.
100%.
Yeah.
This is where people relapse, actually.
Yeah. This is, and I'm pretty sure, like I've talked to, you know, this is like relapse, like prevention or whatever. This is, you know, what happens. But the thing is like I chose to get clean this time, and I'm not going to let myself do that. But also I'm not going to let myself be dry.
What do you mean by dry? Because some people watching this, they might not know what that means. Because that's an excellent point.
So to me, dry is not working your program. You're not getting into the work. You're not being of service. You know, I live in a sober living, so you have to go to 5 meetings a week. I'm going to the meetings, but, you know, I'm not paying attention. I'm not, you know, really trying to find the message. And for me, it's like, you're just not happy. And you're not trying to find a solution, basically.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you. Like, I think that I think you are really trying, and I think that, taking the body to the meetings is really important. You have to remember that you're doing therapy, EMDR. It's stirring a lot of shit up.
Yeah.
And what's happening is all the stuff that's being stirred up is catching up to you, and you're no longer running and hiding.
Yeah.
So it's coming for you because it's for you. It's yours. It's your life. It's your past. These are things that you'd never dealt with, and now you're dealing with them. So you're kind of on overload right now.
Yeah.
And I think you're handling it exceptionally well. Just the fact that you're feeling overload and you still go to a meeting, those things add up. You might think that you're not hearing anything, but I promise you, subconsciously you are. And I think you're doing phenomenal.
Thank you.
So honestly, a lot of new people like yourself judge their recovery by what they feel. Don't do that. Judge your recovery by what you do. And you've been doing everything you're supposed to do. So give yourself some like big credit. Most people that are dealing with the type of feelings and emotions that you're dealing with would have relapsed already.
Yeah.
And so that's what separates the people that stay from the people that buckle,
And that's it. Like, that's the thing too with me is like some days I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm doing it. And some days I'm like, I'm not doing it.
But you actually are doing it both those days because you're not picking up.
Right.
They're just feelings.
Feelings aren't fact.
Necessarily facts.
Yeah.
What is a fact? What you do. My sponsor has hammered it into me over the last 10 years. He always tells me, Eric, it doesn't matter what you think or feel. The only thing that matters is what you do. What you do. Because what you do, what you put out, what you do will have a reaction. You'll get something back. So if you want to change the way you think and the way you feel, you keep doing what you need to do, and eventually the doing will shift this feeling and the thinking.
Right.
But you're not going to think and feel your way into change. Change doesn't work like that.
Right. And I mean, honestly, that was like 3 weeks ago. The past this 2 weeks or whatever, I just finished my step 6. I'm getting into my step 7. And I'm feeling like a lot better. Calling my sponsor more, love my sponsor. So when I start doing the things and I'm getting into service, it makes me feel a lot better. Like getting out of self is the best thing 100%. For me.
Isolation for us is no good.
Yeah.
Shutting down and feeling sorry for ourselves and stuff like that, that's no good. But I watch you at meetings. You're very outgoing. You're social. You greet people. You hug people. You're definitely have a service-oriented mind and heart. I think that's who you are naturally.
Yeah.
I just think that sometimes we just get depressed. A lot of shit has happened to you, and a lot of shit has happened to me, and it affects us. We're very emotional. Addicts are very emotional. We get our feelings hurt really, really quick. And, we have a lot of maturing to do. We're behind, and on the maturing thing. And so it almost feels like a race when people run around the track, like the starting gun went off, everybody got to run, and we had to wait a whole lap before we could go.
Right.
It always feels like we're coming from behind. And in a way we are. But I think we're also a lot wiser.
Right.
I think when we can internally slow it down.
We got to pause.
Yeah.
And we still are learning to pause at the
pause
same
is
time.
good, man. Pause is good. Like, I want to be able to spend some time with myself and kind of like lick my wounds a little bit, and just take care of myself a little bit. I was a big advocate of cleaning when I was feeling some kind of way. When I was in sober living, I would clean. I don't care whose dishes they were. and I would do the toilets. I wanted the shittiest job. And I would just put some music on and I'd be cleaning, and sometimes I would start crying while I was cleaning. Yeah, because a lot of shit happened to me.
Yeah.
Like I sometimes my heart breaks for myself for the stuff that I saw and I went through. It was fucking hard, man. And I was alone. I had nowhere to go. I couldn't share what I was feeling with anybody until I got to the program, and like, it's so beautiful. And even when I got to the program, I was scared. I didn't come from a life of sharing. I had to get used to it. People kept hugging me and loving on me, it was weird. Like, it was weird. It's not something I'm used to. I am now. So that's why I do that, where I work and the business that I have. And I make sure we conduct ourselves the way we're supposed to conduct ourselves. And even this that we're doing, I told you, before we started doing this, is like, we're not gonna go into war stories and painting each other as bad people. And we're going to talk about the intelligent part of who you are, your heart. Like, you have an amazing heart. I know that about you. Just looking at you right now, you're going to be unleashed, and you're going to be exactly who you've always wanted to be.
Thank you.
Yeah. Then you're going to help a lot of young women. I could see you sponsoring people.
Yeah. It's weird. You're talking about like not being able to talk about your emotion or talk about things or show feelings. It's like, my mom was very verbally and physically abusive, but she was also very nurturing and like loving. So like, that's how I grew up to be. So even coming in the rooms, like, I'm very nurturing, very loving. I'm able to talk about my feelings. I'm very like emotionally intelligent, which also makes me very self-aware. So I feel like that's like a beautiful part of me. I think that's why I'm able to be so of service. And I think I'm going to be like a really good sponsor. I think also too, I've always been a really good advocate for women.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be definitely something I do in the future. Something, I'm not sure what it's going to be. But I'm going to go to school to be a counselor. I'm also going to do Reiki. I'm going to do a lot of healing.
I think you're a very spiritually based being, and I think that the thing that I like about you is that you give people a break. You're not judgmental, regardless of what people have done in their past. Like, you're very gracious and very. You have this reverence about you. And I really, really, like, there are certain people that I meet in recovery. For having 6 months, I think you're way ahead of the game. And I think you're emotionally very intelligent and intuitive. And doing your step work is only going to magnify that on a gigantic scale. And you're going to explode on the inside.
Yeah.
And once that explosion, that internal personal revolution happens for you, drugs are going to be the last thing that you're going to want, because you're finally going to have the life that you've been looking for. And when I say life, I'm talking about your inside life. Right? Your inside life is more important than your outside life. Like, cars, money, that kind of stuff. That stuff doesn't get it done. Because if it did, people in mansions wouldn't commit suicide.
Right.
It's our internal life that has to be gigantic. When that's that way, it takes care of everything else. So I think you're doing an excellent job of that.
Thank you. Yeah, those character defects. Even though like I am a very like caring, empathetic, compassionate person, I also can be judgmental, and I think that comes from like defensiveness. When I'm defensive, my anger comes out. I can lash out.
What do you think you're defensive about? And was it a different defensiveness when you
I
were
think
using as to now?
I think it comes from, oh, when I was using, it was terrible. I mean, I would have anger about anything. I was very, very aggressive. And I mean, it's lessened now that I'm not using anymore. But I can just have a tone and I can just be vicious towards people about anything. And I think too, it's not always personal. I think I can just sometimes, to me, it's being assertive, and to others, it's not. So I have to learn how to, and this is what my sponsor says, I have to learn how to interact in the world. And I'm learning where the anger is coming from, or if it's like fear, or whatever the case may be. But I'm just learning. I want to learn to be a softer person. I don't want to be so. I guess I don't want to be so reactive. Is the thing.
So let's. I want to dive into that because that's a phenomenal topic that we just accidentally fell on, thanks to you. When people get mad, it's usually because something isn't happening the way they want it to happen, or someone isn't acting the way we want them to act.
100%.
So when you say I want to be more easy and less judgmental, what you're actually saying is that I want to give people the opportunity to be who they are, and I want to accept life as it's happening.
Yes.
And so that's really what you're saying. So let's talk about that a little bit. Let's talk about the fact that things aren't happening the way that I want, and then people aren't acting the way I think they should act. The number one thing I keep in mind is I don't always act the way I want myself to act. So other people get to have that too.
Right.
Right.
And I don't allow them to most of the time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes you can stop it. Most times you can't. Mm-hmm. You know, you don't really have the authority or the power to stop them. Mm-hmm. They're still going to do it, but it just rubs you the wrong way.
Right.
And so my idea of recovery, things have to be fair. If I get to be a dick sometimes, other people should have the same right to be a dick. Just because they're being a dick in a moment that I'm not, it doesn't make it different.
Right.
It's fair. Now, as far as life not happening the way I want it to happen, who the fuck said everything has to happen the way me or you want it to happen? How is that fair? I mean, there's 8 billion people on the planet. Everybody wants shit to go their way, don't they?
100%.
100%. Can it go there? Can 8 billion people have it all go their way every day? No.
No.
Sometimes it goes my way. Sometimes it goes your way. Seems fair to me. Does it seem fair to you?
Mm-hmm.
So we just need to adjust how we process life. That's all it is. You know, life happens the way it wants to happen. It doesn't need my permission. What my job is to change so I can flow with the river of life. I don't decide which way the river goes. I'm just a branch in the river.
Right.
So this is the wisdom that we're talking about. Now, for people watching, they're like, what the fuck's this guy talking about? What does this have to do with drugs? Nothing. It's just that when you don't understand how life works, you get frustrated enough, and you've had a shitty childhood to boot, yeah, you're going to need some relief. That's when the drugs come in.
Right.
But I don't need drugs today because I'm adjusting to how life works. I'm not Eric-centered anymore. Everything doesn't have to happen the way Rafaella wants it to happen. That's unrealistic. Mm-hmm. You know, people want shit to go their way too. So it's a give and take.
Yeah.
Does that clear up a little bit?
100%.
Yeah. So the next time, you know, something makes you angry, just in the moment say, is it something that's happening the way I don't want it to happen, or is it someone behaving a way I don't want them to behave?
Right. It's mostly behavior.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my behavior isn't great.
I mean, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like, if you and I have enough work to do with our own behavior without us sitting here and, you know, I actually, the thing that I admire the most about the meetings is the level of tolerance that we have for each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've seen people act a fool in meetings like I used to. And people just said, hey, just keep coming back. You know, if you keep coming back, my sponsor always, he's a very manipulative man in a good way. When I do something really stupid, he'll say something like, hey, Eric, keep coming back and maybe you'll see me get better. You know, hey, man, our rooms are filled with the walking wounded.
Yeah.
We're not here because we're well. We're here to get well. And if we don't tolerate each other and cut each other some slack,
Right.
then where are we going to go?
Right.
I think you're very aware of a lot of things. I think you're ahead of the curve at 6 months. I think you're definitely not dry. And by dry, we mean just, you know, not using any drugs, but not changing. People who don't change always relapse.
Yeah, and I think right now too, it's like I'm very much recognizing my patterns.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like once I'm recognizing my patterns, I'm like looking for the change. And I was talking to one of my counselors, and I was talking about the relationship that I'm currently getting out of. And I have a pattern of, you know, not wanting to deal with myself. I get into a relationship that ends up being a mirror, basically. And right now, I need to do what I need to do. I need to get into self, and I need to move forward. I need to work on myself. And he was saying, he's like, what do you think made you, you know, want to do all these things? Like, what's going on? And I was like, you know, just something in my spirit. Like, I'm ready. And he's like, oh, you're changing. And I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm changing.
Going from being unwilling to being willing is a change.
Yeah.
Is a change. And people go through a lot of shit for that to take place.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and some people never get there.
Right. When I was younger, you know, I'm from San Diego, and my mom, she moved me when I was like 5 years old to Missouri with a boyfriend. And then she moved me to West Virginia, and then, you know, all around. So when I was in my addiction, I moved with partners to different states and so on and so forth. So it's just always been a pattern of going to relationship, different state, always running away from myself. So when I decided to get clean, I chose myself. So even when you are clean, you can still, you know,
absolutely
repeat those patterns.
Absolutely. Do you know why it's so difficult to break those patterns, even though consciously, like, we know that those patterns ultimately are not any good for us? Do you know why we keep going back to them?
Why is that?
Because they actually do something for us in the moment. They really do. You know, it's an escape, just like drugs were. But just like drugs, they also have consequences. So we go from using drugs to using people, because what we're trying to do is fix. Mm-hmm. I don't like the way I'm feeling. I know I got no business being in a relationship, but I need this to keep going forward. Sometimes the lesser of two evils is the best we can do.
Right.
You know, like, I would rather have you, and please, whoever is watching this, I'm not condoning, you know, getting into bad relationships, but if I had to pick between a bad relationship and drug use, I'm going to take the bad relationship, right, until I have the same willingness to leave the bad relationships that I did for the drugs. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, a lot of people will say, well, you get into a bad relationship, it will eventually lead you to use. Maybe, but using, there's no maybe. I'm using, right? Mm-hmm. So early on in my recovery, I made a lot of bad choices and bad decisions, but that was the best I could do at that time. That's the honest to God truth. Somebody might look at that and say, Eric, that's bullshit. No, I know when I'm full of shit and when I'm not. And I'm telling you the truth. I made some bad decisions, but I stayed clean.
Right.
And that's why I'm here today. Hopefully, you can get to a place, which I think you kind of already are. When we break up, like there's probably like 14 of those breakups, right?
Right.
Because we break up and then we go back and then we break up and we go back.
You know what's crazy about that too is like I make fun of people like that, and then I just recently got this relationship.
The mirror.
I just did that, and
course.
I was like,
yeah, because it looks stupid when people do it. Because we don't take into consideration their feelings and what they're going
right.
through. But when it happens to me, oh, wait a minute, you can't look at me like that. You don't understand how I feel.
I'm looking at myself. I'm looking in the mirror saying, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. That's why they say if you spot it, you got it.
Yeah.
That's what they mean by that.
100%.
We have to be very patient with one another. We are literally the last house on the block. Like, I can't do this thing alone, and you can't do it alone. But we can do it together. We need each other. Mm-hmm. The addicts need other addicts, and we need examples. We need addicts that have a lot of time. We need addicts that are brand new. We need all 4 seasons because mm-hmm. it takes a whole village. I used to do some things and say some things in early recovery that I know, people knew I was full of shit. I couldn't help it. I had to say things to impress people, things that I knew weren't true. They knew it wasn't true, but they just kept smiling and saying, just keep coming back. They knew where I was at, mm-hmm. but they never called me out. They never belittled me. They never said they knew I was lying, making up stories and stuff. I felt so inadequate as a human being. I felt so small that I just wanted to be somebody. I wanted to matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wanted to count, but I had to wait my turn. I had to do the work and then wait for the work to catch up to me. Because that's how it is when you're in the program. You have to do the work, and then it's like planting a seed, and then wait, water it, go to meetings, stand in the sunlight, wait for it to sprout. Right. Now, as addicts, we don't like waiting.
No.
If I do something now, I want to get paid for it right now. That's what the drugs were. Mm-hmm. I smoke this, it's going to hit me now.
Instant gratification.
Yeah. Imagine if drugs, like you took them and you had to wait 6 months for the effects.
We wouldn't have done them.
We wouldn't have done them. But that's how recovery works. Mm-hmm. Patience. So what do you do until you get the results of your efforts? What do you do with that span of time where you're still empty? Service.
Yeah.
You help somebody else and you wait your fucking turn.
Yeah.
For once in your life, you're going to wait your fucking turn like everybody else does. There's no way around it. None.
I think that's what I was like feeling the past couple of weeks. It's like, I'm hitting my 6 months. I'm living in sober living. I'm going to treatment. And like, that's what I didn't do the first time. The first time I rushed it. I went to treatment. I was supposed to do 90 days. And I was going to dual diagnosis. And my dad, actually, he worked there, which was like really nice. But the other women were just... I wasn't getting along with them, so I kind of talked them into like letting me out. I went to
Wait, you weren't getting along with the other women? Well, that's a shocker.
I'm like they were just
not behaving the way you needed them to behave.
No, not at all. And I was like, you guys gotta let me out, please. So I went to sober living, and then I didn't stay in there long enough. I think it was like 2 months, and then I moved in with my old house manager from the rehab, which is not ethical. And then I got into a relationship. What were we just talking about? Mm-hmm. ADHD.
Yeah, we were just talking about you being in the house and the women weren't acting the way you wanted them to act.
No, what was my point?
You just scrambled me too. Squirrel. It'll come back.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
it'll come
right.
back. This is the beautiful thing about doing this work is that there are no
They
rules.
can cut it and like do whatever,
Yeah,
right?
or
Okay.
not, or leave it. I think it's
All right.
great.
Anyways, so anyways, I was in sober living, went to my house manager's house, lived there, and then I got into a relationship too early, and then I relapsed, and then
That's a different one than the relationship that you're ending now.
yeah,
Same pattern, would you say?
yeah, same pattern.
And what would you say specifically? How could you put that into words? Is it just like not wanting to deal with self? Is it
don't know what it
loneliness?
is.
I mean, you
I
could
think-
be lonely.
Yeah, I think definitely loneliness. I think I'm very much a community-based person. Maybe not so much like what the relationship part, but I feel like because I got taken like from my sisters and I was like an only child, I now seek comfort in a relationship or with my friends. Like I don't really like being alone. So yeah, it could be I don't want to be with myself. It could be
There will be a time where you will be comfortable with yourself, but I want to give the audience, people that are watching, let's give them some alternatives. So we know, and you know by your own admission that you're not ready for a relationship right now, right?
yeah.
So, and we know that's a go-to move for you, right? What could we replace that with? Because I think you're looking for, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know everything. I'm just guessing, and you can correct me.
Yeah.
I think you're looking for some human intimacy,
Yeah.
and I think sometimes, living the lives that most addicts live, sex is not necessarily intimacy.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, here's the thing. I haven't even slept with my boyfriend.
yeah.
We've been together for like 3 months and I haven't even, and
So
I think,
what is it
yeah,
that you're getting from that then?
I think I don't even know what I'm getting from it at
It's
this
okay
point.
if you don't know.
I think it has been intimate. I think we have gotten connection. I think it's just the comfort, honestly.
Yeah, sometimes you get lonely.
I love him very much, but at this point, I was looking, I'm the type of person, with my friends, boyfriend, whatever, if we're not growing together, you kind of got to go. You know what I mean? Especially in recovery. I want you, if you're going to be like in my circle, you got to be in your program. I want you to be moving forward. I want you to be focused. I can't be in control of what you're doing, but you are who you surround yourself with.
How would your friends grade your recovery and your focus?
I would say like 1 out of 10. I'd be like a 7.5.
Okay. How would is that your grade for yourself, or you think your grade and their grade would be about the same?
I think it'd be about the same.
Okay.
In this current moment.
Okay.
I think when I was like a little bit dry, it was probably about like a 5. So
Okay.
I think I've moved up a little bit.
Okay. Some of the things you can really get some phenomenal intimacy from is the service work. I remember getting commitments at meetings. And the reason I love commitments so much is because if you have a commitment at a meeting, most of the time you're almost obligated to show up like 15, 20 minutes early. And what'll happen is there'll be other people that also have commitments and they show up 15, 20 minutes early. So you have a little intimate interaction meeting before the meeting. And over a period of time, those relationships actually begin to grow. And so the devastating part about being in the program for as long as I've been. And this is a completely different topic, and I'm just like, squirreling right now. But I remember I had a commitment with this guy, and we did the commitment like 6 months together.
Mm-hmm.
And nice guy, smiled a little too much, laughed a little too much. It was almost like I knew something wasn't right because nobody's that happy all the time. He was one of those guys that hid behind stuff. And it was cool. We were good. And how's everything? Everything's good, blah, And one day he didn't show up for his commitment, and he had overdosed and died. And I just remember thinking like, fuck, man, all those weeks we did the commitments, like I asked you how the fuck you were.
Yeah.
And you couldn't get honest. All you had to do is say is, I'm not well.
Yeah.
That's all you had to do. So what that taught me was to not only not criticize people, but try to look to see if what they're telling me is the truth.
Right.
I look out for the people that I love today.
Right.
Like if I ask you, that's why I don't like texting. You lose so much in texting.
Yeah, you lose so much in tone.
And tone is everything.
God, I get in so much conflict over text.
Mm-hmm. The thing for me is that I can't hear your voice in a text. Like if I called you and said, hey, Rafaella, how are you? Just the way you said how you were, I would know if you're okay or not. Because I know pain. I know what it sounds like. I don't care if you're smiling. I don't care if you're trying to make it sound right. Like as people in recovery, we got to be able to read that. That's where my intimacy is helping people.
Right.
Like really listening to them. And what that requires is the ability to give. See, most people, they get angry. It's because they're demanding to be understood instead of trying to understand. When you demand to be understood, it's almost a form of taking. I want you to understand me. I want you to give me your understanding. But when you understand, you're giving.
Right.
You're giving. So the next time somebody does something that rubs you the wrong way, think about the big picture.
That's really big too, because I feel like when it's like somebody like a friend or somebody I don't know, I can understand. But when it's like a partner, I get triggered and I lose the empathy and then I get angry back.
Right. When you get triggered, because I'll guarantee you one thing, it's never about what it's about. When you see couples in therapy and the woman is going crazy because the husband won't put the cap on the toothpaste, it's not about the toothpaste.
It's not about the toothpaste.
It's not about the toothpaste. Right. All these opportunities that life brings your way are opportunities for you to dig. Dig. Because without those situations, you wouldn't need to dig. Like, I don't look at anything. I heard something at a meeting one time. This guy was sharing. He goes, people won't stop fucking cutting me off in traffic. And a lady goes, well, if you just let everybody in, nobody will cut you off. And I was like, holy shit. Yeah. Yeah. What does that have to do with staying clean? Everything. Everything. It's a new way of functioning in life. It's a whole new dimension of living. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thinking, that's important to me. That's the kind of shit that'll save my life because I won't be angry all the time. And all I got to do is let people in. Wow. So they're not the ones that have to change. I have to change. Why? Who do I have control over? Me. That's what the serenity prayer is. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. Life. The courage to change the things I can. Me. And the wisdom to know the difference. It takes wisdom to know that difference. Because only a fool will try to get people to change and life to change. There's no wisdom in that. These things make a gigantic difference in how I feel within myself as a human being. If I could be ease. What do we call the disease? Dis-ease. the opposite of being easy, dis-ease. What we're trying to achieve is ease within ourselves. And that's why we use the spiritual principles of the steps. My fight and my race and my struggle is not with life. It's with me. It's not that life is not happening the way I want it to happen. I'm not happening the way I want me to happen. That's the puzzle. That's all it is. So wait a minute. My happiness is entirely up to me? I don't need anybody's cooperation? No. You just need to release the hostages, Eric, and let everybody go home.
That's when I feel like a child sometimes.
Yeah. It's okay. You're aware of it now. Man, you're doing phenomenal. I mean, I'm so proud of you. I am so fucking proud of you. The growth that you're going through. And yeah, it hurts sometimes. It's difficult. Our feelers get hurt. But your family watching this right now, I don't think they could be any more proud of the woman that you are. I couldn't be more proud. And with that said, I really want you to take this time and I want you to look at your family. Mom, dad, sisters, even your sisters that's passed, she can be watching. And just tell them what they mean to you.
I just want to tell you guys how much I love you, and how much you mean to me, and how much I am sorry for everything that we have been through, my past, your past. I just want to say I miss you, Gabrielle. I miss you, Bijou. I miss you, Mom, Dad, Grandmother, Grandma. And I hope you're proud of me.
We can let everybody off the hook. We can agree that we're all guilty and we're all innocent. And it's just time to move on. It's time to build a life. It's time to get right. And then I promise, and I hope you promise, that as you're getting right, that you help as many people as you can.
That is absolutely my goal.
Yeah, because we can't keep it if we don't give it away.
Mm-hmm.
We are literally the only people that could help people like us.
It is a we program.
Yeah, there's a reason why all these courts and psychiatrists and therapists, they send everybody to us.
Mm-hmm.
We are truly the only people that could help us.
And it's not the same out there anymore.
It's not. It's not. Thank you so much for your honesty. Thank you so much for opening up your heart and just telling the truth. And I hope that this was a pleasurable experience.
Yes,
for
thank you so much, Eric.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's Interfere with me, Eric Evans. I hope that the information has been helpful for you. I know that it makes me feel wonderful to share it with you because we have lives at stake here. So please, if you liked it, if you enjoyed the information, and if you want more, please click on the like, subscribe, share it with your friends, share it with your family. I want to keep it coming because we got a lot of work to do.